Hey folks, Dad here with Elevation Diecast Racing. It is race day. We've got Pedal to the Metal number 7 and up in the blocks, staged and ready in lane number 1. It is the American Mustang 65 convertible driven by Larry Stipe, Isaiah's race team, and Your Nightmare Racing. And in lane number 2, we have the German Mustang, otherwise known as the BMW M Roadster, driven by Zelda Diecast Racing. Good luck with your picks today. If you have chosen a car, Pedal to the Metal 7. Here we go. 2095 by the Mustang convertible. Let's switch them up. German Mustang needs to beat a 2095 to advance. He will not do it. He'll actually get gapped, and the Mustang is getting faster. The convertible moving on to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1, is from the Hot One series. It's the 3-window 34 Ford, driven by Gary's Diecast Collection and DXP Racing. In lane number 2, we have the Straight Pipes from the Cool Classic series, driven by Alva 1370 Racing and Bolo Brown. Wow, good race. 2-1-1-6 and a 10,000th beat by the Straight Pipes. Winner of this race moves on to the next round. Ooh, what a close race. But the 34 Ford with a 2-1-08 pushes him to round number 2. Next two up in the blocks in lane number 1 is the Bone Shaker, driven by Randolph Sullivan and Tyler Thurston. Driving in lane number 2 is the Hooligan from the Cool Classic series. Driver is Aramis Rodriguez. Wow, Bone Shaker with a one and done victory, moving him to round number 2. Next up in the blocks, we have a pair of Mercedes. Driving in the SLK in lane 1 is Dog Squab Racing, Dada Racing, MD's Garage, and Keith Smith. In lane number 2, driving the Mercedes 540K is going to be Helium Gas. Let's see who takes it. Wow. SLK 2084. Oh my Lanta. And that's enough to move on to round number 2. Okay, next 2 drivers, staged and ready, is in lane number 1, the 96 Mustang convertible from the Sugar Rush series. It's Butterfinger, driven by KS Racing, Scale Racing Channel, and Hot Rod Customs. And in lane number 2 is going to be driven by Mick Olson in the Twin Mill. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Good race. Twin Mill starting to pull away from him. Let's switch lanes and see that again. We do have a track temperature of 66 degrees. Mustang needs better than 2-102 to advance, and he cannot do it. And Twin Mill getting faster. I got to call that an upset. Twin Mill moving to round number 2. Okay, next up, staged and ready. It's the battle of the big rigs. In lane number 1 from the Final Run series, it is Semi-Fast, driven by JC Hayes and NZ Racing, taking on the GMC Motorhomes from the Flying Custom series, driven by Griffin Soul Diecast Motorsports, Mountain Pirate, Poverty Hollow DCR, and Bavarian Diecast Racing. GMC Motorhome getting out 2-1-1-4. We'll switch them up. Can Semi-Fast beat out a 2-1-1-4? Out in front, but got driven around at the end, and the Motorhome moving to round number 2. All right, I think this is the couple of favorites for this race. Staged and ready in lane number 1 from Indianapolis, Indiana Police Department. It's the Cop Rod series. Way Too Fast. Driven by Chris Hood, user IX5, Bad Fast Kentucky, Diecast Show Customs, Res Wheels, Milestone Diecast, Cowboy Diecast Racing, and Dennis Taylor. They'll be taking on from the Hot One series. It is the 76 Chevy Monza, driven by Numbskull Racing, Hippie Wild Child Racing, Brian 4114 Racing, Clay 131 Racing, and the Chase Family Racing. Good luck in your pick. Monza pulls out and stays out with a 208.2 to 8.9. Wow, let's switch them. So far, I'd say the best race of the round. 208.2, the time to beat. Can way too fast do it. 208.8 will not get it done, and the Chevy Monza moving on to round number 2. And for the last race of round number 1, in lane number 2 is from the Cool Classic Series, the 65 Ford Galaxy, driven by Talking G.I. Joe and Dad's race team of Elevation Diecast Racing. And in lane number 1, it is the Hot Bird, driven by Raymond Gainey, Cut Rocker Diecast, and Joe Clayton. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. Wow. He wobbled and swam. The Galaxy swims his way to a victory. Let's switch lanes. 2141 is the time to beat. Wow, Galaxy a little better this time around. And a 2114 gets him into round number 2. So another Hot Bird in the disappointment section of racing. It's too bad, too. It's a sharp-looking ride. Here is a look at the round 2 matchups. Let's get them staged and ready. All right, up next, 34 Ford taking on the 65 convertible Mustang. Should be a really good race. Mustang out on top, 2100 to 12. 100 to 112. 100 is the time to beat. Mustang again, 101. Pretty consistent. Mustang moving to round number 3. All right, race number 2, Bone Shaker taking on the Mercedes SLK. SLK just ate the Bone Shaker for lunch. That one and done victory will send this Mercedes to round number 3. Okay, next up, a super thin twin mill versus super heavy motorhome. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Motorhome pushing twin mill, not having it. 2096, we'll switch the lanes. Definitely the fastest twin mill I have found as of yet, and I have had a few. And the twin mill does not disappoint. 2096 gets him into round number 3. Okay, it's the Chevy Monza taking on the 65 Galaxy. Let's see who's the last one to get into the quarters. Wow, good race. 2091 to 03. Let's switch those lanes. All right, let's see if that Galaxy can come up with something better than a 2091. And then we're going to take a break and clean this track for the quarterfinal race. On into the semis. Let's see who takes it. Look at that. 2084 by the Monza is getting faster. I like it. Here's a look at the quarterfinal round. We got a Mustang and a Mercedes SLK. And then we have a twin mill taking on the Chevy Monza. We're going to take a short break and get into cleaning this track. We're going to put the sweepers to work. And we'll be back with the conclusion of Pedal to the Metal 7. All right, we are back. Let's get to the conclusion of Pedal to the Metal 7. Definitely like racing on a clean track. It definitely makes a difference in the car's performance. Feels nice and smooth. Back up top, ready to go with the 65 Mustang taking on the Mercedes SLK. Should be a pretty good race. Let's see who gets down the lane first. SLK got out, stayed out, got faster. 2074. I have never seen a SLK move that fast. We're going to switch lanes just because it's the quarterfinal round. 2074 would be the time to beat. Let's see what the Mustang can do. Not even close. 2090 though, the fastest time he's ran tonight. But Mercedes going to the semifinals. And I'm a little behind. This will be for the final race. All right. Who else is going to meet in the final with the Mercedes SLK. I'm going to pick the Monza. Looks like it's going to be the twin mill and the 65 Mustang duking it out for third. Yeah, Monza 2077 should be a great final race. 2077. I don't see the twin mill overcoming 20 thousandths of a beat. Although he tried, but was denied. Chevy Monza moving to the final race. All right, first let's see who's taking third place on the podium, at least as of right now. Twin mill or the Mustang. Good race. 2096 and a 10,000 beat by the twin mill. Definitely got to like when it's a great battle for even third place. Can the twin mill keep his ground? Mustang. Ooh, not enough. And the twin mill capturing that number 3 spot. Which brings us to the final race. This should be really good. First car to win 3 is going to be crowned the overall winner of Pedal to the Metal number 7. Mercedes SLK taking on the Gold Hot Ones, Chevy Monza. Race 1. Good race. 77-78. SLK with 1 win. 2077 is the time to beat. Wow. MLK not looking back. That's 2 wins. Can the Monza force another race? Wow, he does. 80-81. Wow, Monza. 2 races to 1. MLK with the advantage. All right. 2-1 Mercedes. And the Mercedes. Wow. Putting an exclamation point on his win today. And just for the record, we're going to put the twin mill up against the Monza. Good race, 81-97. 81 the time to beat. I don't think so. So what a good race. And there you have it. Our grand winner overall in Pedal to the Metal number 7 goes to the Mercedes-Benz SLK, driven by Dog Squad Racing, Dada Racing, MD's Garage, and Keith Smith. Congratulations on picking an underdog to win this race today. Heading up the number 2 spot was the highly favored 76 Chevy Monza in the Gold Hot Ones, driven by Numbskull Racing, Hippie Wildchild Racing, Brian 4114 Racing, Clay 131 Racing, and the Chase Family Racing. And picking our number 3 spot this week, Mick Olson. Congratulations on picking a podium winner this week. Now we're going to get the Mercedes over to the speed shop and give him a tune-up and see exactly what he's got for the case ranks. And we're also going to take a look. If you'll notice, there is a car missing out of the lineup here who got eliminated in the first round. We're going to take a look at that way too fast again and see what he might do. Stay tuned. We'll be back to see what these guys got for the ranks. Okay, we are back from the speed shop, and I put a couple more together. So if you have made it this far in the video and want to see some bonus racing besides what we're going to see here, stay tuned. We have got a school bus I opened up on live air yesterday. We're going to try him out in the 62 gram and up weight class after we see what the MLK and the Monza do in the 51 to 61. I also touched up the Mustang, which placed 4th in the race. So we took him and also the straight pipes to just kind of test and see if he picked up any speed. I've also been working with these Cosworths. This one, number 2, ran a 212. Could not get him to go any faster. This one has been running a 2108. Number 1, so we'll see what these two run as well. Let's see what our Mercedes is doing. Our SLK winner of the race. Let's see what kind of time she's got. 2077, not bad. Let's see him get back up to the lane. Listen to that going down the lane. 2073, let's go. Right now the gatekeeper to the 51 to 61 is a Malaysia-based Solaire. I think he's next to go to the speed shop. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe he... Oh, you know what? I think he's already gotten the elevated package on there. I don't know. That was not expected. So it looks like we have a couple of cars to run off here. Let's go. We will put the Solaire on the shelf for a moment. SLK pulling a 2073. So the actual gatekeeper then would be this Lamborghini Veneno from the Speed Machine series. Let's see what the SLK has for it. All right, that makes much more sense. 74 to 78. Yeah, SLK 74 to 82 now. So we'll jump down to number 39 in that weight class, which is the recently reworked Gold Hot One Murata. And he gets past him handily. Murata would need a 2073 and greater than 8,000 feet to stay in his spot. And it's not going to happen. Let's roll him up against the 30th ranked AMG SEC 500, number 2. Mercedes, wow. 2073 and a 7,000 speed. SLK putting on a clinic at a 2069 is getting faster. How about the number 19 Maximus Charger? Wow. 73 and a greater than, looks like 9,000 speed. SLK not having any of it. Sitting at number 10 from Hong Kong is the Zamax Solaire. What a race. 70 to 72. SLK needs a 70 and greater than 2,000 feet. Not going to happen. Let's see where he falls. He's definitely going to be in the top 20. Let's see what he does. Let's go number 15. We'll take him up against the modern classic Shelby in blue. Nice run. 65. Ouch. I can tell the mechanic got a hold of him. 72 to 74. Sitting at number 16 is the GHO Lotus Esprit. Lotus takes it 69 to 74. We'll switch it. 2069 and a greater than 5,000 speed, or the SLK won't get it done. They're all hot ones. So it's the 84 Pontiac Grand Prix sitting at number 18. Mercedes takes it to him by 2. 2071 and a greater than 2,000 speed, or the Pontiac moves back, and he's going back a spot. And finally, the Fairmont that I have so fittingly named the bipolar Fairmont, because he is exactly that. If you have a steady Fairmont, I have questions. 2072 to 79. 2072 and a greater than 7,000 speed. 2071 and only a 2,000 speed. So the Mercedes SLK finding himself number 17 in the 51 to 61 weight class. Not a bad showing at all. And I'm definitely not going to get through all of these cars. Time is pressing on. I don't want to keep you very much longer. But in the next video maybe we'll go live later on. today or maybe tomorrow. After Friday Night Lightning hits, we'll go and check the rest of these out. So from all of us over here at Elevation Diecast Racing, if your car isn't fast, at least it'll look good on the shelf. Have a good night.